He hit 4 kids on Monday. Jane's office was full of hysterical parents all afternoon.
Well, look, he said...
Millionaire Andrew Everett bought Henbridge Hall 6 months ago. Within weeks, he had transformed it into an historic theme park, but not without arousing considerable local opposition.
Rejuvenation, that's the key. Now, some people, for whatever cockeyed reason, don't like the idea of rejuvenation. Here, they don't want me to rejuvenate the canal and put a mechanical whale in it. You know what they say? Why, they say. They're living in cloud cuckoo land.
Tonight, we look at the high-flying, fast-dealing world of controversial entrepreneur Andrew Everett and ask the questions, should we buy this man's dreams? And if we do, will he still be around when we wake up?
You've got to have the imagination to be able to see these things. Some people still can't believe this is going to be the world's first indoor all-weather nature reserve. Of course, that's exactly what it's going to be. In 3 months, we're going to have a wood, hedges, a little river, and 47 real wild animals roaming free from that wall all the way over to that wall. Man in total harmony with nature, and neither of them getting wet. Well, we might turn it into an Aztec nightclub. I haven't decided yet.
No, I don't want anybody else to do it. I want Mike 5 personally by me. I want these things done properly.
He's very aggressive and proud of it. He's incredibly competitive too. If you go out to lunch with him, he tries to eat faster than you. His favourite book is an American business book called Take the Time to Be Nasty. He totally lives by it. I would say, without doubt, he's the most ruthless and unprincipled businessman I've ever met.
In 1987, Andrew Everett was voted most ruthless and unprincipled businessman of the year by the business magazine Entrepreneur Monthly.
He's an exhilarating man to work for. You can never be quite sure what's going to happen next. What usually happens next is that he calls you over to give you a bollocking, but you can never be quite sure, you know?
I mean, just look at this. It's a complete bloody mess. Who's going to pay £6 to wear something like this?
Well, we have sold a few. How many have we sold today, Bob? 9? 9.
Yeah, 9. I'm not interested in how many you've sold. You can't even read the damn thing. What's it supposed to say?
Annabelle, the thing is, I don't think Caxton ever printed T-shirts. It's not designed to take...
I'm not interested in what Caxton did or didn't do. You told me you'd sorted it out. You told me the T-shirts were fine.
Well, they are a lot better.
Well, they're still not good enough. Now, I want it sorted out now, today, or tomorrow. You'll be wearing this. Understood?
Understood.
Right. Now, where's the chief plague victim? I want to word with him.
I think he's in his hut.
Come on, then.
Andrew's incredibly restless. Always working. After our first marriage, it was all I could do to persuade him to put the damn phone down while we consummated the marriage. And he picked it up again the moment he'd finished, and long before I had. Fortunately, the man on the other end of the line wasn't anyone I knew. We met later, but then I just pretended to be a different wife.
In March 1990, Andrew Everett's restless energy brought him here, to Dreyford, in the North Midlands. A former engineering town whose declining fortunes, Everett insists, he's about to transform completely. As evidence of what's possible, he points to what he's already achieved at nearby Henbridge Hall.
Henbridge Hall is the country's first and only Plantagenet pleasure park. The aim here is to provide an authentic Plantagenet experience for people to come and enjoy.
Of course, the house and the grounds are actually Elizabethan, aren't they?
That's right, yes. We've had to do a lot of work to make it look Plantagenet. We've had experts in advising us.
Wouldn't it have been simpler and indeed historically more accurate to open it as an Elizabethan theme park?
It might have been. It would also have been financial suicide. There's already an Elizabethan theme park 15 miles away. Anyway, I think the Elizabethans have had their day. Who wants to see hours and hours of falconry when you can come here and see medieval mud wrestling?
Dreyford needs real jobs, not the type Mr. Everett is offering. There is a skilled engineering workforce here. What are the council helping to pay to retrain them as? Part-time Black Death victims. Skilled engineering workers with 20 years' experience wandering around, coughing, groaning and falling over dead in front of tourists for 3 afternoons a week. And why? Because the council says if they stay on the dole, they will lose their self-respect.
Mr. Everett, a lot of people are concerned at your reputation for restlessness. They think you've come here to make a quick profit, and that once you've done that, you'll simply move on and leave everybody here high and dry. What do you say to that?
It's just plain wrong. I love this area, and I've chosen to come here and make Hembridge Hall my home.
Well, you've chosen to make it one of your homes, one of your 12 homes, in fact. It is 12, isn't it?
Worldwide, yes, but I've only got 4 others in Europe. This is certainly my favourite of those. This is where my family live.
Where one of your families live. You have 5 others from previous marriages, haven't you?
So what?
Well, some people might argue that that says something about your ability to make long-term commitments.
Well, they're right. And what it says is that not only am I prepared to make long-term commitments, I'm prepared to make them to a large number of people.
Mr. Everett's the best news the town of Drayford has had for a very long time. We're very lucky he's come here.
Where we are now is the site of one of his proposed new housing developments, scheduled to be completed in 4 months' time. It's obviously not going to be there, is it?
If Mr. Everett says it will be, then I'm sure it will be.
He doesn't anymore.
Doesn't he?
No, in fact, I understand he's now decided he wants to build a galleon here.
Well, when Mr. Everett submits the plans, I'm sure we'll look on them very favourably.
He has, you did.
He has, we did, yes. Oh, the galleon, is that what you're talking about? Yes, we like that. Great idea. The locals will love it.
But only from a distance.
Quite.
Yes, because they won't actually be allowed to go anywhere near it, will they? Because it is in fact going to be a luxury sports and leisure club exclusively for the use of visiting businessmen.
Yes, absolutely.
You have seen these plans, have you, Councillor?
Oh, yes, I see all the plans. I'm kept fully informed. Our planning office sees to that.
Your planning office was demolished 3 months ago by Andrew Everett.
I know, I was informed. I saw Mr. Everett's going to build us a new one.
In the shape of?
In the shape of a galleon.
An igloo.
An igloo, yes. It was going to be in the shape of a galleon, but then we thought it would look too much like the housing development.
Sports and Leisure Club.
And the Sports and Leisure Club, yes. That's too many galleons, isn't it, for a town this size? No, we're much better off with a canoe.
Igloo.
Or an igloo.
Oi, you monks! Shut it!
Everett's dynamic and direct approach to development has yet to win over many of Drayford's inhabitants, who fear his plans for their town. Everett, for his part, simply dismisses such fears as being totally groundless.
Unfortunately, some people object to the fact that what we're trying to create here is something new. That's their problem.
I think actually what people object to is that what you're trying to create here is something new every week.
Plans evolve. That's what development's all about.
Your plans seem to be evolving pretty drastically, don't they? What have you done with the town's war memorial?
It's perfectly safe. We had to move it out of the town square simply because if it had stayed there, it would have constituted a major hazard.
A major hazard to what?
To the windsurfers, or the go-karts, and the bobsleighs.
If Andrew Everett's plans change with alarming speed, so, over the years, have his business interests. From the early 1960s, when Everett made his first fortune in the newly emerging countries of the Third World, with companies like his highly successful Flag Design Consultancy, his approach seemed to be anywhere provided there was money there, any time provided it wasn't long. His reputation was that he could do business with literally anyone, and sometimes without them even noticing. In the late 1960s, he fixed up a deal between Finland and Indonesia that neither country has ever fully understood. And when he wasn't working hard, he was playing hard.
They were very wild times. The weekends were particularly debauched. We'd drive down to some stately home or other with a group of friends. Saturday morning, all the men would go out with guns, dogs barking round their legs, Range Rovers loaded with booze. Then in the evening, they'd come back and we'd cook what they'd shot. Mostly it was just the dogs, but by that stage no one seemed to mind.